Good evening and aloha from Summit, New Jersey, the headquarters for Engage Therapeutics. I would have loved to have been with you tonight in person to celebrate your 10th year anniversary, but I am back on the East Coast working hard to complete our clinical research study that Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience has played such a vital and critical role in. While tonight is about Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience and not Engage Therapeutics, I think I cannot adequately speak to the greatness of your group if I don't give those who don't know about me or Engage Therapeutics just a little bit of background and why I think what we are doing is important and how we could not be doing what we are pursuing without the support of people like Dr. Corey Liao, Catherine Mitchell, and the rest of the employees at Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience. My eldest son was diagnosed with epilepsy in 2014. It was very rough at the start, and thankfully we have been able to control his epilepsy over time. Sometimes you find opportunities and sometimes they find you. In my case, it was a little bit of both. As the father of a son with epilepsy and as a 20-year veteran of various biopharmaceutical jobs, I wanted to give back to the epilepsy community in some way. In 2016, Dr. Jacqueline French, a leading epileptologist at New York University and the chief scientific officer of the Epilepsy Foundation, told me about a small study she had recently completed that, if approved, would someday allow a patient with epilepsy to terminate a seizure once the aura or seizure started to develop. Think of it as an EpiPen for epileptic seizures. The data was intriguing and very compelling. With the current standard of care, patients and their caregivers are forced to ride the storm out and wait for seizure activity to stop before trying medicine that can only work to prevent a second seizure. And usually, those medicines take longer than 10 minutes to take effect. Within 3 months of that conversation with Dr. French, Engage Therapeutics was born, and we now find ourselves in a late-stage efficacy study for which Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience is one of our top enrollers. However, patient enrollment numbers are just that. They are only numbers. Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience is more than a patient recruiting center. They are a true partner, and research projects like the one we are working on can only be successful if a partnership like the one we have exists. So what does our partnership look like? I would say that our partnership centers on two principles. First, leadership, and second, courage. First, leadership. This organization showed the world that what we were doing was important, and what we are doing can be done. In order for our trial to be successful, we had to find patients who had a predictable seizure pattern that would occur at least every week. And when the seizures emerged, they were long enough in duration that we could be assured that the drug was actually what was working and creating the results. The research community did not doubt that our program could work. What they did question was whether we could find patients with these characteristics and enroll them to prove our hypothesis. Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience said, yes, Greg, we can find these patients. We will enroll them and successfully dose them, and you can too. The second partnership principle is courage. Nothing gets in the way of Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience. For example, they did not stop with their own patients. They knew the outer Hawaiian Islands and patient advocacy groups out there could be a source of more patients in need of this type of investigational agent. And they called me and said, Greg, can you help us go to the Big Island? Can you support patient advocacy in other smaller islands? We think we can find additional patients if we go there and find them, and we will, and they did. The examples of their courage are endless. Corey, I am so proud of what you and Michelle and the entire team have created and done at Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience. You are true friends. You have given me the hope and support that real and very positive difference we are trying to bring to the epilepsy community is possible. And I can tell you, it certainly wouldn't be possible without you. Mahalo.